Good morning. So I know it's like super early in the morning and you're going like, that's a pretty heavy topic to talk about toxic and manipulative people at 10:45 in the morning. But the reality is sometimes it's not even early enough. And for some situations, it happens. So let's talk about it, right? Because we all have that person or people in our lives that are toxic and unhealthy for us. And some people might be coming on here and going like, why are you talking about that? You're a health coach. Shouldn't you be telling me how to get healthy and lose weight? And the reality is that part of getting healthy is dealing with the issues that come up, the issues that arise from dealing with toxic people, dealing with those people in our lives that think they have a right and think that they can treat us a certain way, but they can't. They don't have a right, and I'm not giving them that kind of permission. Sometimes I do. And then I kick myself because I'm like, my gut told me don't do that. And I did it anyway. And I hate when that happens because you get so frustrated at yourself because you're like, this was a situation that I could have avoided. I was listening to Ed Milet's podcast yesterday. He had on, I'm going to forget his name, the guy that's a psychic. And as a Jew, there are certain parts of the psychic that we just don't do in our religion. However, some of the stuff that he was talking about, I can understand. And I also feel that like in general, you can always learn from everything in life and you just have to sifter and filter through to what you're comfortable and to what your beliefs and ethics are. So I was listening to him and I found it very interesting. And one of the things that I found so interesting, and he talked about it, is like most people have a gut instinct. I have a very strong one. And I hear my gut a lot tell me like yes or no. But most people don't listen to their guts, or most people have become so clouded or heavy emotionally over time, or not tuned in to themselves, that they don't hear their gut anymore. They don't hear their instinct anymore. So if that's you, and if you can relate to that, then my suggestion is take a minute every day to tune in and listen to yourself. Write down who you are, get to know yourself. Take yourself on a date so that you can get to know who you are. Because the reality is the more we know ourselves, the more we are aware of who we are, the more likely we are going to set healthier boundaries, and the more likely we're going to create a healthier ultimate lives for ourselves. Because getting up in the morning, and yes, this happened to me this morning, and dealing with somebody that's toxic, and the person then tells you, not only do they tell you you're the toxic one, that they then also tell you, and then they kind of switch the situation and manipulate the situation. Right? So something happened, doesn't matter what. That's not for Facebook. A situation happened this morning, and no, it's not with a stop for anybody out there. A situation happened this morning where somebody reached out and shared something that that the plans. They then kind of shared some stuff, and I was like, you're causing me way too much stress. And so because you're causing me all the stress, I am now changing the plans because I'm not allowing this kind of stress in my life. And I changed the plans super quickly. The person then got even more triggered and offended because when somebody is toxic, you are going to trigger them all the time, regardless of what you do. And they're going to take something that you're doing, you're protecting yourself, and they're going to translate it as something that you did to them, when all you're doing is protecting yourself and taking the stress out. And so that's exactly what happened. I took the stress out of the situation in 5 seconds because I already know dealing with this person that it can be toxic and they can be manipulative. So I had a solution, took care of the solution. Now I no longer need toxic person to do whatever that I initially needed that person to do. And that person was not happy at all. I got texts, I got voice notes, got messages, Saf got messages. because they didn't like that I was setting healthy boundaries. But if you're going to be in my life and you're going to choose to be in my life, I'm going to set healthy boundaries. And I got on the phone, of course, to vent and whine about the situation. And I called my best friend and I was like, this just happened and I'm so upset about it and whatever. And she was like, okay, awesome that you came up with those amazing solutions. And I'm so happy. And please do not let this destroy your day. And I was like, she's so right. Because we're going and we're doing and I'm working and I'm hustling and I'm loving it. Don't let her derail your entire day to the point of destruction where you're going to go eat a chocolate bar or you're going to go get yourself a croissant. Oh, not a croissant. It would probably be a cinnamon bun or, carrot cake with cream cheese frosting. One day I am going to figure out how to make that healthier because I can't. Like one bite and I'm done. And also a lot of places around here make it with coconut. I don't know about you guys. I'm really just not a fan of coconut. But that's why it's so important. Going back to what I was saying, that's why it's so important. And I can't even stress that enough to create healthy boundaries. Because the minute you create a healthy boundary, you're setting yourself up for success. Where, yes, you're going to have toxic, manipulative people in your life. You can't avoid it. There's always going to be somebody in your life that you can't cut them out of your life. But you're setting up boundaries where, while it might upset you, it won't necessarily derail you. See, in the past, if I got upset or I couldn't tolerate something and something really threw me off, I would run and go get myself like, I deserve it. I just dealt with this person. I'm an emotional wreck. I deserve, well, you fill in the blank, whatever it is. And sometimes what I do instead, if this happens, is I'll go get myself a massage. I'll go get myself a manicure, pedicure. Those are healthier ways of coping. I'll call a friend. I'll call us off. He was here when it happened. So it took some of the, like I don't know, sometimes I just need to vent to somebody that wasn't there when it happened. Like fresh venting. But set yourself up. Get to know yourself. Date yourself. Because then when things happen, you already know what you need to do to resolve the situation. You already know what you need to do to create that healthier boundary so that you're safe. Because the best feeling you can give yourself is that feeling of being safe. And if you're not feeling safe right now, ask yourself why. What situation are you in that's causing you not to feel safe? What situation, what is going on around you in life that is causing you fear and causing you pain and sending you into an emotional spiral? Are you doing it to yourself? Because we do this to ourselves too. Is somebody else doing it to you? And if somebody else is doing it to you, and I'm going to tell you guys something, I struggle with patience when other people around me do this. I'm not a very patient person. It's something I work on incredibly. I guess you could say it's the part of me that is ADD and that part of me that is a 7 or whatever you want to call it. I'm always like running here and there and whatever. My anxiety, whatever it is, but I get anxious actually. And maybe that's what causes me to be impatient when people around me don't set healthy boundaries. And then it becomes like a long, drawn out affair. Maybe that's what it is. Because maybe that's triggering my anxiety. Look at this. You figure out something new every time. But with this person, I'm already aware of their toxicity and I'm already aware of their manipulativeness. How somehow it went from them doing something and change whatever to now I'm mean and spiteful. And that's their choice. And that's okay. But don't allow that in your life. Because this is your life. And you're welcoming the energy into it. That's it for today, guys. Good luck. And I'm here. Always.